You became an entrepreneur to make money. And don't forget, you became an entrepreneur to have a life. This is the Savvy Podcast, helping entrepreneurs connect with the vision that's bigger than themselves. Learn how to stop trading in your wife or husband and kids for your success. Get ready to have your beliefs about traditional leadership methods challenged and learn how to enjoy massive productivity gains and in less time than you can believe. This is the Savvy Podcast.
Welcome to the Savvy Podcast. I'm Tim Marshall. Today I have the privilege of hosting Jason Richardson for a brief chat. Now let me share Jason's short story because it's a heck of a rap sheet. He's a world champion. He's Pan Am Games gold medalist. He's a speaker. He's a high performance coach, and he's an Olympic psychologist. So while competing as a BMX racer, Jason graduated college and continued on to earn both an MBA in global management and a doctorate in psychology. So winning at the highest level in sport and attaining the highest level degree and now working with the highest level performers are the foundation and proof for his more, better, happier process. And we know as an audience, we're looking forward to hearing more about that. So the hashtag championship life is about rearranging the playing field to suit your strengths, talents, and values. Success, health, and fulfillment is the aim. So welcome, Jason. It's a privilege to have you with us today. And before we jump in and do the 7 questions in 7 minutes, I'd love to hear whereabouts of this entertaining planet we call Earth you're currently residing.
Currently, Southern California. So Carlsbad, California to be exact, which is about 35 miles north of San Diego proper.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Yeah, it's an interesting thing, isn't it, for those of us that normally travel around considerably, to be stuck in one or relatively one location. But anyway, it's good fun. It's good fun. So thankfully we've got things like this. So 7 questions in 7 minutes. Let's jump on.
All right, let's see.
Let's do it. Are we ready? Who's your ideal client? The timer's on. So who's your ideal client?
Ideal client. So anyone who races anything.
Yes.
Okay? I'm kind of a race whisperer because I was a bike racer. So anyone who races anything, to that extent, life has become a bit of a race. So a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of I would say managers up. If you want to talk corporate speak, but really it's the entrepreneur, it's the family business, it's the people pushing for a little bit more in their life and a little bit more in their business and health.
So you'll be talking, there'll be a whole group sitting here that have just stood up now going, I've got to listen to a bit more about this.
Yeah.
So what's the problem you solve for those people?
So problem I solve is literally in the more, better, happier. I noticed when I was doing my clinical work as a psychologist, which is why I pretty much got into coaching, I noticed people were always asking for one thing. I just want the job. I just want the corner office. I just want more money. Or they would come, I just want to lose 10 pounds. I just want to feel better in my body. Or they'd say, oh, I just want my wife to like me again. I just want, so it was always this one thing. And I'm thinking, but, and I can appreciate what you want, but what I realized and what was happening is they didn't want just that, because wanting that one thing would actually get them the thing they really want, right? Which is some form of real success, some form of real fulfillment and, health. And if we can converge those things and rearrange the playing field, then we're winning. That's that championship life that I talk about. Beautiful, beautiful.
Very well explained. And what are the typical symptoms people experience with that problem?
Typical symptoms, stuck. I think that's become a symptom now. It's not in the DSM, but it's definitely, so they feel stuck. So they stop progressing. Lack of progress is pretty much the bane of, anybody's human existence, whether it's in your relationships, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your own self. And then as we age, because let's be real, as entrepreneurs, it's one thing when you're 25, 35, but when you kind of get that 35 to 55 range, you're actually looking at your own self going, man, I remember I used to be able to do this and I used to be able to do that. And why am I so tired? And, oh, I got a scab and why is it taking so long to heal? And so So lack of progress, lack of forward movement is an issue. The other piece is legacy, right?
Yes.
So a lot of people want to not just do it for themselves, but they have a family and they want to be remembered and they want to make a mark and they want to have an impact. So recognizing that you're actually doing something of importance that has some weight to it. So these are the things that we get into, and it's a bit of deep work. I try to make it as fun and as dynamic as possible, but it's a bit of deep work to deal with these issues. So I guess the biggest symptoms, like I said, being stuck.
Being stuck. Yeah, being stuck. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Absolute perfect sense. So we've got 3.5 minutes going here. So let's jump into this next one. What's the most common mistakes people make when they're trying to solve that problem, when they're trying to get out of being stuck?
Mm-hmm. Well, common mistake is, so being stuck, it's because we might have run out of creativity, but
Yes.
I think we stopped asking ourselves what we want. I think sometimes, especially with entrepreneurs, you kind of get there,
Yeah.
and then we haven't thrown that rock out further to kind of reach it. So we set our finish lines too soon. And I know that sounds crazy with people who are making several $1 million a year, but we set our finish lines too soon. So that's one mistake.
Yes.
And then I think the other mistake is that we fight our emotions versus focusing on the task at hand. So
Yes.
if we're scared, if we're nervous, if we're just frustrated, we're trying not to be scared, nervous, or frustrated versus actually doing the task that needs to happen.
Yeah, so true, so true. So
our eyes are off the ball.
Eyes off the ball.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what's one valuable free action that the audience can implement that will help them solve that problem?
Pretty simple. So we can just gamify this, right? I
Yes.
suggest gamify the mundane, right? So in my world, it's always business, sport, life, more, better,
Yes.
happier, more, better, happier. So you can just take those quadrants and say, okay, what's one thing I can do that would probably make something better for me today?
Yes.
What's one thing I can stop doing that would probably make things better for me today?
Yes.
And then what is that one thing in your success category? What is that one thing in your health category? What is that one thing in your happiness category?
Beautiful.
And then check that bad boy off that day. The beauty of that is you can take it on a micro level, daily,
Yes.
weekly, and you can go macro, month, quarter, year, 5-year plan possibly.
Fantastic.
And rate yourself. Yeah.
Fantastic. Minute 45. So we've got a valuable resource here, so I'm going to share that. So we've got drjasonrichardson.com/pro coaching. So what are they, just very quickly, 30 seconds, what are they going to find when they hit there?
What are they going to find? They're going to find my letter to you personally,
Beautiful.
How we work, what we do together. Be a little bit of a video to kind of, give it
Yes.
to you, because there's a lot of ideas that people come up with and never execute on.
Yes.
So there's that. There is an application form getting at, hey, can we work together? Can we play in the same sandbox?
Yes.
And just a little, and then my short story, which
Beautiful.
is why I'm qualified or uniquely qualified to work with you. So, and the things that I address.
That sounds exciting. So we're on to the last question, and you've got 55 seconds. So from all your years experience, what's the most valuable free tip you can give people?
So it always comes back to this. And I'm just going to leave it here. It's hard to pay now. It hurts to pay later.
Yes.
It's hard to pay now. It hurts to pay later.
Love it. That resonates so much, and it'll resonate for those in my programs and those that are even been looking at the programs and in the
That's
wider
right.
community side of things. So the links to Jason's work will be anywhere you're watching or listening to this. So go and check it out. And no doubt Jason will be having a chat again in the future. This has been a heck of a lot of fun. And watch out, because we'll be doing something potentially with a bit longer length where you can find out a little bit more about Jason. So just watch for that coming. And thanks.
Yeah.
It's been a privilege.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
You've been listening to the Savvy Podcast, helping entrepreneurs connect with a vision that's bigger than themselves, stopping the trading in their wife and husband and kids for their success. We hope you've gotten some useful and practical information from this show, and we hope you had fun along the way. We know we did. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, If you want to know more about the Savvy Method, hit the website at www.thesavvymethod.com. We'll see you again soon.